Countries that invaded South Korea. There have been two countries that have invaded South Korea in modern history. They are North Korea. The Korean War, 1950 to 1953, started when North Korea invaded South Korea on June 25, 1950. North Korean forces, supported by the Soviet Union and China, crossed the 38th parallel, the dividing line between North and South Korea, and invaded South Korea, leading to a 3-year war that ended in an armistice but not a peace treaty. The war resulted in significant casualties and damage on both sides and has technically not ended to this day, as the two Koreas are still technically at war. Japan. During World War II, Imperial Japan occupied Korea from 1910 to 1945. This period is often referred to as the Japanese colonial rule, and was marked by severe oppression and exploitation of the Korean people. Japan invaded and annexed Korea in 1910, ruling over the Korean peninsula with brutal policies aimed at assimilating Koreans into Japanese culture and erasing Korean culture and language. The Japanese colonial rule ended in 1945 with Japan's defeat in World War II, and Korea was liberated, but the scars of that period still linger in the history and memory of South Korea. Japan's occupation of Korea from 1910 to 1945 was not an invasion in the traditional sense, but rather a colonization, where Japan established direct control and authority over Korea as a colony. The Korean people did not have the opportunity to liberate themselves from Japan during this period. However, South Korea did gain its independence from Japan after the end of World War II in 1945. Following Japan's defeat in World War II, Korea was liberated from Japanese colonial rule, and the Korean peninsula was divided into two zones of occupation, the northern half under Soviet control and the southern half under U.S. control. In 1948, the Republic of Korea, South Korea, was established as a separate country with a democratic government under the leadership of President Syngman Rhee. However, tensions between North and South Korea escalated, leading to the outbreak of the Korean War on June 25, 1950, when North Korea, supported by the Soviet Union and China, invaded South Korea. During the Korean War, South Korea, with the support of a United Nations-led coalition, including the United States, successfully defended its territory and pushed back North Korean forces. The war lasted for 3 years and resulted in a ceasefire and the establishment of the Korean Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, along the 38th parallel, which is the current de facto border between North and South Korea. However, a formal peace treaty was never signed, and technically, the two Koreas are still at war. South Korea's successful defense against the North Korean invasion during the Korean War is often referred to as the liberation of South Korea from the invasion. It was a significant event in modern Korean history and has shaped the political, economic, and social landscape of South Korea to this day. The Korean War, 1950 to 1953. The Korean War was a conflict that involved not only North and South Korea but also international powers. After North Korea's initial invasion of South Korea in 1950, the United Nations, led by the United States, formed a coalition of countries to support South Korea. The war saw intense fighting and significant casualties on both sides, with battles raging across the Korean peninsula. The war also involved major powers such as the United States, China, and the Soviet Union, with the latter two supporting North Korea. Ultimately, the war ended in a ceasefire agreement in 1953, with no formal peace treaty ever signed. United Nations Command, UNC. The United Nations Command was established in 1950 as a multinational force to support South Korea during the Korean War. Led by the United States, the UNC included troops from 16 countries, with the majority coming from the United States, South Korea, and other Western countries. The UNC played a crucial role in defending South Korea and pushing back North Korean forces, ultimately contributing to South Korea's successful defense and the establishment of the Korean DMZ. South Korea's reconstruction and development. After the Korean War, South Korea faced significant challenges in rebuilding its economy and society. The war had caused immense destruction to infrastructure and the economy, and South Korea had to embark on a path of reconstruction and development. Through determined efforts, including a focus on industrialization, export-oriented growth, and technological advancements, South Korea transformed itself into one of the world's major economies within a few decades. This period of rapid economic growth and development is often referred to as the "miracle on the Han River," and it has played a crucial role in shaping modern South Korea. U.S. military presence in South Korea. In the aftermath of the Korean War, the United States maintained a military presence in South Korea to deter potential aggression from North Korea. The U.S. military continues to have a significant presence in South Korea to this day, with tens of thousands of American troops stationed in the country as a part of the U.S.-South Korea alliance. The alliance has been a cornerstone of South Korea's national defense strategy and has contributed to maintaining stability in the region. In summary, South Korea achieved independence from Japan's colonial rule after World War II and successfully defended itself against North Korea's invasion during the Korean War with the support of the United Nations-led coalition. Subsequently, South Korea underwent significant reconstruction and development, becoming one of the world's major economies. The U.S.-South Korea alliance and the presence of U.S. troops in South Korea have played an important role in ensuring the country's security and stability.